Welcome to the Effects Loop. I'm Diaz,
I'm Scott.
and we're keeping you in the loop with the guitar community. Do the jazz version. This episode is brought to you by listeners like you. Go to patreon.com/theeffectsloop and you too can give us money. We won't be upset. We will not be upset. Don't worry about it. Don't lose any sleep over it. We'll be okay. So yeah, go check out that. It's also in the link in the episode description. If you go to theeffectsloop.com, there's a link there. You can, if you're having problems finding ways to give us money, just message one of us and we'll tell you how. So yeah. All right. What's new, Scott?
A few things. Well, it's been it's been a bit since we talked.
Oh yeah, we took last week off we did West Wing and we did the Wings and Wings last week.
Yeah, I did not release that. So
so we just didn't release an episode.
We just took a week off.
Oh, okay.
Which we'll talk. We might be doing that more often. I don't know.
Yeah, I think what we're doing is gonna work though.
Maybe.
I think it'll work.
Maybe.
Yeah.
all I need to say is life's getting busy for both of us and it's getting a lot harder to do the show.
Yes.
We want to keep doing it. It's not like we're like, oh my god, I'm done. It's just like it's getting harder. So
yeah, time's are slipping away. Time keeps on slipping. All right, so what's new?
So start with the small things. So I got a Analog Man Prince of Tone yesterday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, just kind of an impulse buy. I saw they were available and I used to have one. I loved it. So I just grabbed one and they're like $160. So I'm like, yeah, that's a safe bet.
So you bought it direct from Analog Man?
Yeah.
Are they still there?
Wednesdays. They go on sale on Wednesdays. So I just caught it at the right time. I think Tyler Estes was like, oh my gosh, I wish I could afford this in something. So I just clicked on it. I was like, oh, hey, they're still available. Okay, done.
Nice.
So yeah, I grabbed that. I also got my Weber Z Matcher in stock today or last week. So now I can run my two notes on my Super Reverb without blowing it up. So that's some fun news. So do you know what that thing is?
What was it again?
Weber Z Matcher?
No. Well, so I'm guessing it's something with either a grill or a speaker.
It is neither.
Oh.
Well, it has to do with speakers.
Okay.
So Weber Speakers makes this. It is it's a few things actually, but really what it is it's two transformers or multiple transformer circuits. So what it lets you do is send a load to an amp and then have it converted to your speaker safely. So I can run a 2 amp, I can run everything up to from a 2 to an 8 ohm load on anything from a 2 to 16 amp ohm load on any amp 2 to 16. Because like super reverbs are like 2.2 ish ohms. So it's really hard to get like power soaks and things like that for them. So this lets me do that. And it also does a line out. So it can also do just like a direct out into like an IR rig if I really want to, but also my two notes can already do that. So
oh, okay.
So that was pretty cool. And also that came with the best sticker I've ever seen from a gear manufacturer. They gave me a specific one for Illinois. I loved it. I know you're busy right now and you're just making small talk, so I'm just gonna.
I've got a dog attacking a cat. Kylo, you son of a! He's unplugging stuff. The cat's up. Hold on. The cat is up.
Yeah.
And the dog is looking down.
So anyway, so those are my new things for this week, and I got something really big for next week's app, so we'll talk about that then.
I too have something really big for next week's app.
Oh, do you?
No, not really. I just wanted to say that. So what's new with me? Nothing really. Just living my best life.
You let an offer expire on a
Yeah,
Waza Airs.
yeah, because people are real. I don't know. They're only offering like $200, and I don't feel like. I mean, I feel like that's not bueno. So I don't know. A lot of low ballers on Reverb right now. So I'm hoping that Josh Scott releases the episode about gear supply, and I'll be sitting on a fortune, small fortune.
You are the only person who will profit from
Gear Supply Company.
How awful that whole scenario turned out.
Yeah, and I'll feel bad about it for a minute, and I won't.
And then you'll be laughing with your close to maybe $1,000.
Well, I've got what, 5 pedals. I mean, if Josh Scott starts talking about them, I can probably at least get like $400 each.
Okay, $2,000.
Hey. I wouldn't be mad. I got debts to pay, sir.
Yeah, I can think.
Yeah, I know. Don't you better start talking to Josh Scott about this thing too, because something's got to sell soon. All right. Anywho, let's get off of Dia's owing people money. So NAMM happened.
NAMM happened. A ton has been released. I think today we're going to try to get through all the pedals for sure. For this week,
we're not going to spend a lot of time on them.
Yeah, we're going to kind of speed run through some stuff. Let's say we're going to do, this is going to be the pedal episode. The next episode is going to be the guitar episode. And we're also going to see what we can get out of the other. Okay. So let's do pedals and amps today.
Pedals and amps?
Yeah, and then we'll do all guitars next week.
What about pedals that are amps? Oh,
oh my God!
Oh, Universal Audio has released the UAFX guitar amp emulators. They've got the Ruby, the Woodrow, and the Dream.
Man, Gear Talk Praise and Worship went nuts for these things.
Yeah. So I feel like UA Audio is kind of in the realm of where Origin Effects lives.
And Strymon.
Yeah.
Less so Strymon, just because Strymon is like, I don't know. Do we want to get into diving into more of this or not? Or I mean,
no. I'm gonna the reason why I went more with Origin is because it's more of the sense of the people who love these are definitely like kind of die hard, and also it's more of a studio quality pedal, in my opinion. Even though they can be used live perfectly fine, I'm just saying, but like UA makes studio equipment, and like, yeah, that's kind of where I feel like they live in that area. All right, so let's talk about them really quick. We've got the Ruby, which is, I'm guessing,
Vox in a box.
Vox in a box. Then you got the Woodrow, which I'm guessing is a Fender Blonde style.
Interesting. Call them blonde. Is blonde and tweed the same thing?
I would say so. Yeah, okay. The way I use it.
Yeah.
So we'll say tweed, and then you've got the Dream, which is a 65 reverb, a black panel.
Yeah, I'm still getting used to saying that phrase.
Yeah,
but it's starting to feel more natural.
So the thing is so I don't know. Did you see me on our YouTube?
Yes.
On talking on 65. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, we were kind of messing with this guy because he was doing the whole, oh, why are people doing this? Asking the question, knowing the answer, just wanting to hear someone say the answer so they could argue with them. Which tends to be a thing. I don't know why people can't just straight up and say. He was like, how come no one calls it a blackface anymore? And one of my responses, which didn't make it on there for some reason, was Google blackface, and what's the first thing that comes up? And that's why we try not to use that phrase anymore, because that phrase refers to something that's actually racially insensitive whenever there's no face on an amp anyways. Yeah, so yeah, it is definitely a different thing that I'm getting used to saying as well. But I can understand why we're making the transition.
Yeah, and I mean, because then we're going to say, are we just going to say blonde panel, black panel, silver panel? Is that how
A
we're going
tweed
to say
panel.
it?
Yes.
Or are we just going to keep calling them tweeds?
I feel like we could say silver face because
Okay.
it's not referring to something that's racially insensitive. But I mean, a silver panel is the same thing, though.
Do we want to talk about how insensitive,
Wizard of Oz?
street performer living statue people really are?
I mean, the Wizard of Oz is pretty much the biggest slap in the face to street performers ever. They don't have hearts.
Is it 30 Rock where
oh my god,
Liz is like dating one and just like randomly has paint on her?
Yeah, I can't remember, but I'm starting to rewatch 30 Rock right now. Anyways,
good show. So here is. So I've had a complaint with the UA pedal line because this is using the same enclosure in IO as the previous, where they did their modulation, delay, and reverb.
Yeah.
No MIDI.
Yeah.
Still no MIDI at this price point. And these are not cheap pedals. These are what? $400?
$399? Yeah, $399.
So we're going up against the ACS1 and the Strymon Iridium. Very clearly here. All of these are IR loading amp simulation pedals, so that they're a little bit different like that. They're stereo. This one's easier stereo than the Strymon because you don't need a TRS connector.
Is this one stereo? I thought this one was just mono.
Yeah, it's stereo. It can be stereo or mono. You can run stereo in and out of it, or you can run mono in and out of it and have an effects loop.
Oh, okay.
Which, especially if you, as a lot of people probably learned, if you run some reverbs after these amp in a box pedals because they come up to line level. They're really loud and they'll start clipping a reverb.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing too that I have to say. The price point is $399, and it doesn't have MIDI, but I don't feel like it needs MIDI because it's only doing 1 amp, pretty much, right?
Well, it can. It can also do. So because it has 2 pedals on there or 2 foot switches on there, you can connect to it via Bluetooth on your phone.
Wait, so what?
Yeah, you can actually connect to these things via Bluetooth, and there's an app on your phone, and you can change all the parameters in there.
Yeah, but you're only getting 1 amp style, right?
Yes, so you're not changing between the Ruby and the Dream via your phone,
right? But, so like that's an issue with me is, it's not an issue with me, but like I would say that's one reason why I wouldn't expect MIDI because I feel like I mean you can have different settings and all that, but. Yeah. But MIDI seems more like you'd be changing amp styles and IRs and stuff like that. And
I mean, you could definitely change IRs, which would be a nice. So 2 tricks: 1, changing your IR; 2, changing your gain or your EQ structure. So you can actually have like 2 channels. So think of it like
which you can do without MIDI, right?
Sort of, yeah. Depending on the
well, you got 2 foot switches. Is one of them a preset?
You can by default, it's to a preset, so you can have a saved preset and what's on the face of it. And you can hop between them as a 2 thing. However, you can also program this in some other ways. So like the Dream has a spring reverb tank that's selectable on and off and a tremolo circuit on and off inside of it.
Oh,
so you can actually change those effects on and off, or you can change the preset to be a boost on and off. You can set this thing to be an always on. So those 2 foot switches are fully programmable to become other things, in which case, again, maybe MIDI would be a nice thing here to be able to turn tremolo on and off via MIDI or
at least have a foot controller. Like you could use a TRS
out of this thing into a foot controller or something like that.
Yeah. Like just being able to get like a normal like aux switch.
Yeah,
that would have been great. I would take that over MIDI. So not over MIDI, but I'd take that. And if they didn't do MIDI, I would say you should do one or the other.
Yeah. Having said that, these are slowly, when you start thinking about, okay, it does one thing with a little bit more features versus the Iridium or the ACS1 that does like the 3.
Yeah.
The other complaint would just be simply they didn't do a Marshall one, which some people like the Marshall settings on Iridiums and ACS1s. So I think, whenever it comes to a pedal that has a little bit of grit, I definitely prefer a Marshall. Like I like a Marshall low gain, and I love being able to push a Marshall sound and get that. I mean, I love that Pearl Jam style sound, like the nice cranked Marshall. Yeah. So these are really interesting, and they're coming in at an interesting point. Now there are cheaper options out there. You know, you have your character series like Tech 21. You have
which we were talking about in our group chat, because I was kind of like, you know, like there's some settings, but like I feel like in the grand scheme of things, I'd rather pay like $100 and something bucks and just get a Tech 21 instead of paying $400 for this. I feel like this is one of those things where a lot of people are paying the price just to have it on their board.
Well, it's the new hot thing.
Right.
This among everything else that came out this year, this is the new hot thing.
In the praise and worship world.
Even beyond the praise and worship world.
You think so?
But particularly, so praise and worship world is primed and ready for, you know, ampless solutions. But
yes,
other markets are coming around to it. So yeah, I wouldn't say this is not just for praise and worship players.
Well, I'm not saying just, but primarily right now, praise and worship players are the ones who are losing their minds about them.
Well, I mean, the stereotypes of it are so true. It has to be the most expensive, fanciest thing, and they're all trying to flex on each other with giant boards. Like that's so.
And it's like the three styles of amps that praise and worship guitars typically use.
Well, it's the three types of amps that everyone uses.
Yeah, but like you said, they skipped Marshall.
They did.
They didn't. I mean, this isn't directed towards. They didn't do like a.
But so did Strymon, and so
gain.
did.
They didn't
so
do a
did
Mesa
Walrus.
style. They didn't do like what they did. They did. They didn't do Marshall, or they did.
They didn't. Well, like Walrus and Strymon did.
They did it.
Yeah.
They did Marshall.
And here's the other thing: is there is already. I think they're testing the waters on this, but Universal Audio already had these amps modeled in their Apollo series as a plugin. And
they're just bringing the information over.
There is a Marshall one out there as well, so I think I could see them porting some more stuff over.
I want to see. I would love it if they would have done this kind of like the Tone Lock series.
Pushing knobs.
No, not the Tone Lock. What's the series? What's the Line 6, like the Verbzilla, where you could change the modules?
Oh, the Tone Core series.
Tone Core. Sorry.
I mean, theoretically,
that's what I'm saying.
These pedals are the same on the inside. They're just different paint. I mean, but like so it's like all the Strymon pedals too. But anyway,
they're just changing the software and the programming. Yeah. Anywho, all right. So let's $399. I say that
there is a way to get them cheaper. Do we
want
to talk about that?
I mean, yeah.
So presently, the pound has been dropping in value substantially.
Oh yes.
So if you go over to Anderton's, they're sold out right now. They're on back order. There'll be more in stock on July 7th. Don't ask me how I know that. I might be getting updates on them but it was something like $369 shipped.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So if there's anything you're thinking about buying new right now, go look at Anderton's. And so here's the thing. When you're looking at their site, you're like, oh, it's the same price. But that's because there's VAT added. As soon as you put it in your cart and put your address in, the VAT disappears. So we're thinking about.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's think about the tune.
Maybe come mid-July, I might be talking about one of these pedals in a little more detail.
All right. I'm going to guess which one it is.
It's so obvious which one I bought. Go.
The black panel?
Yep.
All right.
I want to evaluate it for our church. So we might get one.
All right.
In a similar vein, Two Notes took their stab at this kind of a thing in their own unique way that kind of we'll see. But they brought out two tube-driven analog amp sims for guitar and bass. That are simulations based on iconic amps from Marshall and Fender in what they're calling the Revolt series.
I'm trying to find a price because I just want to know.
Do you know the price? €349. So if I recall correctly, it was like $450 to $500 we were looking at.
Yeah, it's got an effects loop, MIDI in and out for easy integration. You've got 3 channels. They're triple threats. They've got a Fender Bassman 100 style. You've got a Marshall JMP Super Lead and a Soldano Slow 100.
and also has drive and boost controls. So, I mean, it's going to sound fantastic. And I remember when we were talking about these, because these got released before NAMM.
Right.
We were like, oh my gosh, I love this. And then there's one rub with these. Do you remember what it was?
No.
What is Two Notes famous for?
Running direct.
Yeah, but how? So they make two amazing products, right? That Two Notes is known for.
The torpedo.
So the torpedo combines both aspects of their products. So they have the power sync side of things.
Yeah.
And then they have the IR loader side of things.
Right.
This is not an IR loader.
It doesn't have IR loading capabilities?
It does not.
Oh.
It does come with a license to their software, the wall of sound thing. But if you want to do IR loading with this, you're looking at a cab M. Plus this.
You got to buy something else of theirs. That's how they get you.
Because the cab M also has power amp modeling in it too. So you can get all those things together, and then you get a real complete setup. But now you're looking at something like 500. Like, how much is a cab amp? $300, $400?
I don't know. I honestly have never looked at Two Notes stuff due to price wise, and honestly, they just really don't float where I float.
I genuinely will say this: the Captor is amazing.
Yeah.
It's compact, small, runs great, and I love the fact that I have one. And very viable tool for almost everybody, because it's like, well, I just plug it in. My amp sounds like my amp now. It's great. The Cab M is $300.
Okay. Yeah, it's like $700. I don't know.
But it has real tubes, and they do run at voltage. These are not like an LED behind a volt, like a 12AX7. They actually upscaled to something like 200 volts to actually bias that tube properly and drive it. So at some point, you'll have people maybe trying to replace the tube in it into something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, there's the bass series. We didn't talk about that. They have an Ampeg SV76, Marshall JMP Super Bass Mark II, and a custom high gain bass amp model in it. So, pretty cool stuff here.
Very nice. Next, Bondi FX announces the Mach 3 refresh of its sick as overdrive with boosted internal voltage. So I'm guessing it goes from it's got a charge pump in it.
Yep.
9 to 18.
Yep.
Yeah. This is one of those pedals that, I mean, this is
when it went out of production, it shot up in value.
Yeah. Now it's coming back, and now everyone gets to say, "Oh, I've got a Mark 1, and that's where the real tone is."
Yep. But it comes out on the 17th of June.
$229.
$229, not that expensive. But
No.
Shipping might be a little pricey because these are coming out of Australia.
Australia, yeah. I'm sure that they're gonna have dealers in the US.
Probably.
They've got to. They're pretty big.
Well, they already have. I mean, they have other pedals like the breakers and stuff like that. So
Yeah. All right.
But it's good to see this pedal coming back. And actually, I mean, we don't have this on our NAMM list, but we also saw the Tim V3 come back.
Oh my gosh!
This week,
I think that
sold out
Music
instantly.
Yeah.
And actually, while we were talking about amp in a box pedals, we did skip over, because I don't have a press release for it. There's the former sponsor of our show, Westminster Effects, has the Seth Morrison signature pedal, which is a Durex style overdrive pedal, and I'm forgetting the number name on it. Do you remember what the name of it is?
It's a number. It's like 1217 2164.
Actually, 1217 sounds right, but
if I'm right, I'm gonna be so proud of myself.
It sounds huge. So if you're after
2716.
2716. I don't know the significance of those numbers.
Seth Morrison.
But Seth Morrison's the guitar player for Skillet.
That's too close to Zach Morrison. Yeah.
So yeah, killer guitar player, killer option. So you can check that out, and I'm sure it's super affordable because it's Westminster.
It's 2000. Is
150 $.
2716? Is that the amount of people who are chosen to go to heaven?
I don't think they're Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, maybe that's the number he was predestined to pick.
Foreknew it. Also, other pedals that got updated. The Matthew Effects Surgeon comes out with a V2. Now has an expression jack and a full computer editor. And the artwork on it is nuts.
So Strong's 2716. It's, I don't know. It talks about working out. It says to work out. I don't know. That's in Greek. Hebrew means dung. Oh my god. Sorry. I was just Googling stuff. It really does say definition is dung.
So did you not hear any of my setup there, or were you just ignoring that and going on?
I was just ignoring you.
Okay.
I was totally ignoring you.
Neat.
Why don't you do that again?
No. So the Surgeon V2 comes in at $250.
I love how he just gives what everyone is complaining about.
I mean, the Matthews Effects pedals are so good already. He basically just needs to kind of just modify and update it.
Just go to the group and see what everyone was begging for and give it to him this time. The preset, the tap, that's what everyone wanted. Everyone just wanted tap.
It can also do presets. It also can do 127 presets via MIDI.
Very nice.
USB-C control. There's...
Oh, I can charge my vape.
That's... Yeah, sure. We want to talk about the next one? The Laney?
Yeah, hold on. I'm a little behind right now. So Laney's new. The difference engine combines analog, digital, and dynamic style delay modes into one unit. This thing is ugly as sin.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not a great implementation. Well, so its cover photo with the Laney logo on it, where the screen is, does not look good. It looks better when it's actually
that's a screen. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry. I thought that was just their logo slapped on there. I was like, it looks like someone made a really cool pedal and someone just like, hey, put the fucking logo on there. Like just anywhere. Okay, so that's the screen. All right, never mind. It looks a lot better. It kind of actually reminds me of Matthews Effects.
It does. Actually, I kind of like the artwork on it.
No, sorry. So I take back that it's ugly. They just did a very bad press release picture on that. It did not look good at all.
So at its core, it's a delay. It's a delay pedal with a lot of different modes.
I love the screen. I love this. I don't know. The screen seems like it's well integrated.
So much so that we miss it in the cover photo.
Well, that's because they covered it up with the ugly Laney logo. It looked like they're like have this updated pedal. They're just like, hey, 80s logo, smack dab right on it. Because Laney has not changed their logo since they started.
So full MIDI in and out, expression pedal input, stereo in and outs, controls on the top. Comes loaded with 50 artist patches right off the bat. And retails at $429.
Ooh, that's expensive.
It's a MIDI controlled stereo delay.
Yeah, but it's not from like a reputable. I mean, it's a reputable company, but it's not like a company known for what they're. I don't know.
I can't think of another Laney pedal off the top of my head that's not a gain pedal.
Yeah, all I think of when I think of Laney is like crappy amps and gain.
Mm-hmm. You know what's not crappy amps in game?
What's that?
Walrus's new lore, a lush reverse soundscape generator.
Yeah,
I went nuts for this the minute I saw it. It looks like Walrus's version of the Revere / Minim from Old Blood Noise Endeavors.
Yeah.
So
I remember
you've got a reverse delay into a reverb generator, so it is just soundscape mode galore.
The artwork is beautiful.
Artwork is amazing because it's Walrus, and
I wouldn't go that far.
Walrus always has great artwork.
Not always.
Okay, other than floral prints,
there's a lot of them that don't look great.
Okay.
Sorry if anyone from Morrison actually listens to this.
It also has their X control, so they actually have tons of different types of DSP kind of things in it.
Yep.
I've heard some of their modes in their demos, like they're doing shimmer inside of that, so like a reverse shimmer. It just sounds crazy.
Do they have? Does this have some sort of USB to update?
I don't believe it does.
Okay.
It does come in at $299, so it is honestly kind of on the more expensive range of their more basic pedals. But
does it have any presets or anything?
Well, so there's the different programs that you dial in.
But are there different presets?
No, there's not that I know of.
You just got one. I don't know. $300 is a lot for just a pedal that does one sound at a time, like where you can't swap easily and use it for different things.
Yeah, if it was more in the 250, we'd probably be a little more.
Yeah, like 249 would. Yeah, but like 300, you're getting up there.
I wonder, are they doing 2 DSP chips in it, which is why they're trying to charge so much for it.
Couldn't tell you.
Oh, generated by 2 DSP chips. Nailed it.
Because
the reverb and the reverse delay engine are probably their own independents.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds fantastically cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing what people come up with and do with it. But anyway, also other pedals got updated this NAMM. This is another one I own. Solid Gold Effects comes up with a new version of the If 6 Was 9, which is their fantastic fuzz face model.
Yep.
Add in some new smart controls, which are really pretty interesting. Making it a little more buffer friendly.
Yeah.
Which is always a difficult thing with fuzz faces. And instead of just having a bias knob, now has a voltage sag knob and a bias knob, so you can really mess with how that chip's getting hit.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty cool. Still coming in at a very affordable $199.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I really need to have some. Honestly, you know what pedal I miss the most right now? It's my Eric Johnson fuzz face.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a great pedal. Wonder how much they're going for in reverb. I'm sure that they've skyrocketed.
So another pedal got updated as well. The TC Electronic Plethora came out with an X3 version.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Which comes in at $309, very specifically. But allows you to, now instead of 5, you have 3 slots.
All right, and for one thing, I got
it should have been in the first place.
Listen, hold on.
Throwing it out there.
And I'm getting really mad at people online who are just being really dumb, who are getting mad that this pedal is called the Plethora when there's only 3 switches. It's talking about there's. I know, but it's not. Version. I know, but I'm saying people are still mad that it's called the Plethora. They're like, there's not a plethora. There's a plethora of different types of pedals to choose from. Doesn't mean you're going to use them all at the same time. It's talking about the bank, not the actual switches.
It's the bank, not your account.
Right. The bank has a plethora of money. Just because your account only has $3 in it doesn't mean that the bank doesn't have a plethora.
Whatever, man. That place is broke. I couldn't only get like $3 out.
Fuck them. Bunch of card-carrying commies, if you ask me.
Well, if they were real communists, there would be no money in the bank. It was everyone's money.
It would be in Soviet Russia. Bank owns you. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Anywho, so yeah, that's cool. All right.
I remember when the Plethora came out, the original Plethora, and we went, that's too much money.
Yeah.
And the other reality was it was too much. Like 5 was a lot.
Too much real estate. It was, and it's not the problem. You can do 5 switches and it not take up a ton of real estate. TC Electronics cannot. TC Electronics pedals, starting with the Flashback X4, all these have to be gigantic, huge pedals.
Well, even when Line 6 redid the DL4, they still kind of kept it pretty big.
Yeah.
So
the length was about the same. Depth was not.
Yeah. It's still quite a large pedal. So
Yeah.
at 309, this becomes an interesting value proposition.
Yeah, I like it for $300. I mean, that's $100 a pedal that you can just load whatever, and I'm sure you can bank and do different sets.
Well, and the other reality is, like, for a more beginner guitar player, this becomes a more viable option.
Yeah, and it gives you just a lot of noises to inspire you, a lot of different sounds to mess with. That's great for a beginner or a intermediate guitar player who's really starting to get into the world of effects and cannot afford. Because here's the thing: no one's ever complained about TC Electronics' quality of sound on their pedals. Well, people might have, but I have. Like, it's not a common thing. No one's ever complained. The flashback delay sounds fantastic. Just using it is not easy on the single size where you have to strum, or where they finally added tap, and then the X4 is just a large size, but the quality of sound has always been great. So it's fantastic. I think that's a great move by TC Electronics, bringing it down to 3 switches and charging less.
I think it's a great mini board solution.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of players. Yeah. Have delays and reverbs, and you can just change pages and you have a new song. Yeah.
Right. Turn the page. All right. Anywho, Old Blood, the Noise Endeavors, and Churches unveil screen violence, a shoegazy stereo boost and reverb. Stereo boost?
Yeah, about that.
So, in case you want to boost one channel, wait, I don't understand. Is it just because you can use it at the end of your chain?
It's a boost and overdrive. Okay. So I have a number of questions.
I do not have many answers, I'll tell you that much.
First of which is, does anyone in churches play guitar? They're an all synth band, aren't they?
They're a what?
They're an all synth band, aren't they?
I don't know. I've never heard of them.
You've never heard Churches? I guarantee you've heard songs by them. You just didn't realize what band it is.
All right.
They've been around for a while.
Yeah, there is a guitar player, Ian Cook. I don't know if that's an I or no. Probably an I. Ian Cook plays guitar.
Okay.
Even though the picture of him is him on a synthesizer.
All right.
Sorry, that's funny.
So actually, with this, they're also coming out with a special edition of their Expression Ramper with the same artwork kind of style, or a similar inspired artwork.
Is Churches a religious band?
No.
They have said they are not remotely religious.
No, they're just like a pop band.
Okay, what's a popular song by them that I've probably heard but I don't realize it? Leave a Trace, The Mother We Share, Good Girls.
Mother We Share, you've definitely heard.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to listen to this where it's not loud enough to get us in trouble. And I'm going to tell you. Let's go ahead and skip to the good part.
Leave a Trace was very popular as well.
Nope, never heard that.
Never Ending Circles. So I'm a fan of this band, so I've actually listened to like all their albums, so it's hard for me to be like, oh yeah, this album went out. But yeah. I bet you if you listen to these, you heard them in a movie or you heard them in something.
Oh, I've never heard them. Probably in a movie or something. I don't know. It sounds like something that would be in a chick flick. Probably just because it's a female vocalist. I don't know if that's wrong of me to say, but it had that feel of like.
It's probably wrong of you to say.
What?
It's probably wrong of you to say. But we'll move.
Okay.
No, dude, totally get defensive and double down. Go for it.
No, I'm not getting defensive. I was trying to explain why was because like I guess when I heard the song, I associated it kind of with like the movie me and the roommate. Yeah, the roommate just watched, which was the Marry Me.
I haven't seen that.
With J-Lo and Owen Wilson. It's actually really good. I do like rom-coms when done correctly. And it had that, I guess the music kind of sounded like that. and why I guess I. But
Anyhow,
I wasn't being defensive. I was just explaining.
If you want to be defensive about churches, you can buy this pedal for $279 directly from Old Blood.
I love the artwork.
Actually, at Church's merch stand on their current tour.
I like the artwork. I do like the artwork. It has that Reload feel from Metallica.
Distorted CRT look is what they are calling it.
I love how the labeling looks literally like you're using your iPhone.
It's like when that meme that's been shared too many times and re-edited, so now there's just like a white text box in a completely different font.
Yes, that's what it looks like, and it looks. But I'm not being sarcastic. It looks good. I love the look of this pedal for sure. Like it looks really cool. I want to see more pedals like this. But I love the labeling. I really do. The text box look. It looks like they were like someone was just like really quick making the text boxes and like putting out what they're gonna be, and they're just like, oh, that looks good.
It's kind of got like a 90s zine kind of a vibe.
Yeah.
Where it was like someone printed words, they cut it out of a magazine and they put it down and then photocopied the thing.
That's called a ransom note. So it has a ransom note.
That's when all the letters are different. I know how to write a ransom note, Diaz.
Oh my gosh, how awesome would it be to have a guitar pedal with ransom note letters for the labeling? That'd actually be kind of cool.
That would be pretty metal. That'd be a good serial killer kind of vibe.
The ransom pedal, like it would have to be a death metal pedal. Like oh my gosh, like a good what's the other, not the Metal Zone, what's the other boss one, the heavy metal or HM2? Like an HM2 clone where the labeling is the like ransom note style.
You know what you don't need a ransom note for?
What's that?
The new SLO Mini from Soldano.
What?
Rated for 30 watts of solid state power. Soldano,
wait, where did we go? We skipped.
Skip all the guitars, go down to the amps.
Wait, hold on. Oh, there you didn't. Okay, I see.
It's the same way labeled. I order every single episode.
I know, but it wasn't labeled, so I didn't know where one stopped and one began.
If only I left like a courtesy space.
Well, you're about to get a courtesy finger. It is. I need to do day 7 of giving people the finger. I've been doing that on TikTok every day. I've been giving everyone the finger. What?
I can't wait for that to be used against you in the court of law.
That's good. All right, here. Hold on. We're gonna do it live. Hold on. Listen.
Are you gonna try to cross promote?
Yeah, I'm cross promoting.
Listen.
All right, so we're recording. Oh wait, no, I can't talk. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it really quick. You can keep talking. I don't have to keep talking. So you're just gonna ignore me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Soldano launches the affordable mini version of its slow amplifier. So 30 watts. Is this solid state?
Solid state. Class D amp. Okay,
so I'm guessing if not super expensive.
$249.
Oh, wow. I was going to guess 300 and that's pretty not bad.
Does it run direct at all? I legitimately wonder, is this going to sound any good?
You think it won't? Do you think Soldano's sold out where they'd put out a crappy product?
I don't know. But at that price point, $249 for any good sounding amp head. Interesting proposition.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'd like to see. I want to hear this, like in person. Oh, why are they having George Lynch be the guy launching it?
Maybe he's famous for using one. I don't really know George Lynch's stuff that well.
He was in Dawkins. That was his claim to fame. And then he became famous. It's a band. Oh. It was an 80s band.
Okay.
But yeah.
80s music's not really my... Like, 80s metal is not my forte at all.
I'm not a fan of Dawkins at all. Honestly, the reason why I know George Lynch so much is because I watched I've watched videos of him, and his playing style kind of messes with me. He's very his strumming style can be very rigid. If that makes sense.
But he's pretty precise.
No, well, I mean, yeah, it's more just the way he strums can be very. It reminds me of like whenever a new player strums, and they're very like they hit the strings very hard.
So it's got a big pluck.
Yeah,
I mean, I hit the strings really hard.
No, but like, I want to find a video.
Okay.
And I'll share it at some point. He's gotten. I mean, it's probably changed. It was the video I watched at one point, but.
Well, also in Amp World news, for its 10th anniversary, Yamaha has released the THR 32.
Yeah,
I don't really know how that number's worked.
With the new colors.
2 new colorways. So if you've been holding off on one or you want one in a different one, they've got basically black and white versions. Yeah. I know people have said really nice things about this. It also has like a Line 6 relay wireless receiver in it. Can do stereo stuff. This was kind of like it's not a Kemper, but it's not a Katana either, kind of like range of things. So,
well, it was really big of just being like a desktop amp. That was the thing. It's something to set on your desktop that you can plug in and get a good sound from.
And it has functional speakers on it, right?
I could not tell you that.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a true amp head.
Like I don't think there's speakers.
I thought there were.
I don't think there's speakers. Don't know.
Couldn't tell you. Also, the last thing on our list for today, and we finally get to take a breather on this episode. Two Notes has unveiled Genome, a $50 software plugin with over 500 virtual guitar and bass cabinets. Think wall of sound, but now more. And so it's taking its Dyne-IR technology and going in a whole new direction with it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said $50. I'm wrong. It's $29.99.
Oh, that's not bad.
You can register for their beta testing phase that's coming out in September.
Is that $29.99 like a month or something, or is it a subscription?
That's like the price.
Oh wow!
So my initial thought is they're gonna try to like sell you expansion cabs the same way they did with their wall of sound, where they made wall of sound free and then they started charging you for the different amp packs.
Yeah.
But you know, this is part of what Two Notes does like really, really well is the cab simulation side of things. So I can see this being a really interesting thing. But we'll see.
Very nice.
We shall see.
All right. Well,
go for it.
I was going to wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
We're going to wrap it up. Woo, woo. All right, guys. Well, it was great talking to you guys again. Thank you for letting us take a week off and not rioting in the streets. Anyhow, if you would like to join the ranks of the few, the proud, the Patreon, go to patreon.com/effectsloop. Big shout out to everyone who supports the show every month and really makes us feel like we have to do this. So, yeah,
it's like that sponsorship opportunity that's come up where I'm like, do we really want to take it? Because that means we have to keep doing the show.
Yeah, I've been curious how that's working. It's been like one of the slowest moving processes, but also NAMM just happened.
Yep.
Anywho, so go to theeffectsloop.com. It's got a link to our merch, all that cool stuff. And if Scott ever sees you in public wearing an Effects Loop t-shirt, he'll give you a hug. It's 100% been done every time.
Yes. Can confirm.
I was there. I seen it. All right, guys. Well, for the Effects Loop, we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
We have to just keep pushing along. dictionary. Why is negativity always drawn out? Pictionary, visualize love, energize lives together. We undefeated. A plan to make well, there's no gloves needed when we weed into the mindset of achieving and believing in community that remains savvy. Never after, the world should be one. Hate annihilated, every heart is one. Love again. So don't buy the hate, don't separate. We're strong when love overcomes. Don't buy the hate, don't separate. We're strong when love overcomes. Don't buy the hate, don't separate. We're strong when love overcomes. Don't buy the hate, don't separate. We're strong when love overcomes. Don't buy the hate, don't separate. We're strong when love overcomes. Make the love flow, make the hate, make the love flow, 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 make the love flow,
Do you need to take a bathroom break or anything?
No, I'm good to go.
All right, let's rock this out.
We're nearing 6 o'clock, so I'm getting hungry. So,
it's 7 o'clock here.
It's funny how time zones like that work. But you had dinner at 4:30, like a geriatric.
Actually, so Elise worked early today too. Elise is already asleep. She came while I was waiting on you. I was watching your live stream, and she came and put her head on my chest and passed out. And I had to like wake her up and like tell her, get off me. I've got to record a podcast.
Get off me, woman.
Get off me.
I've got dozens of podcast listeners to disappoint.
Oh my gosh.